Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today, we have an investor update webinar with Santacruz Silver, who recently reported strong financial results. With us from the company, we have Arturo Pestamo, CEO, and Andreas Vedregal, CFO. And from Adelaide Capital, we have Magda Gardner. The format for today's webinar will be a Q&A. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions in advance. We will start off with them, but if you'd like to submit a question during the webinar, please enter it in the question box below. We may be making some forward-looking statements. If you'd like to know more about those, you can find them in the deck and on the company's website. And with that out of the way, welcome Arturo and Andreas, and congratulations on the strong financial results and impressive share price growth.
Thank you, Alenka. Thanks so very much. We're pleased to be here and willing to answer everyone's queries about the company.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alenka. Thank you for letting us tell our story to the investors community.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to get into the first question. We did get a lot of questions about the late filings. Are you able to address why both your Q1 2025 and full year 2024 financials were filed late?
Yes, of course. Thank you for the question, Alenka. I think something that it's very relevant to tell right now. Since my appointment as CFO, one of my main goals has been to assess the integrity of the financial statements. And a key learning point for me was the acquisition of our Bolivian operations in 2022, which was a complex transaction. Remember that it's around 70% of what the asset base that we have right now. It was not a straightforward acquisition of a single company with a different operation. It involved the purchase of multiple companies, each with their own assets, operation, and legal structures. One example is our Illapa company, which operates a special contract with the government. This structure made the consolidation process in Canada particularly challenging. As a result, our team in Canada and our auditors launched a comprehensive review of their consolidation process in Canada. While this led to delays in our filing, it was a necessary step to ensure the integrity of our financial disclosures in preparation of our graduation to the TSX main board. So looking ahead, with the strong financial teams now established across Mexico, Bolivia, and Canada, we are confident in our ability to meet all future reporting timelines.
Got it. Thank you. And your Q1 results showed big increases in gross profit, adjusted EBITDA, and cash, along with an 8% reduction in your all-in sustaining costs. Can you walk us through how the quarter went?
Yes, of course, Alenka. We're very pleased with the results we delivered in the first quarter. The strong performance was driven by a combination of higher silver prices and improved silver recoveries in our lead concentrate, which resulted in strong revenues. As you can see, gross profit reached $28 million, adjusted EBITDA $27 million US dollars, placing us on track towards our target of approximately $110 million EBITDA for the year. Something that is very relevant is that starting January 2025, we adopted a market-based exchange rate methodology for our Bolivian operation under IS-21. This replaced our previous official rate exchange because the actual conditions in the country right now, this shift provides a more faithful representation of the economic reality of our operations and ensures that the effects of the currency devaluation are now properly reflected on our cost structure, rather than being recorded as a foreign exchange gain, as you remember in our financial statements in 2024. Because in 2024, we continued to use the official rate because the devaluation could still be considered a temporary distortion. However, the macroeconomic fundamentals of the country have since made it clear that the devaluation is structural. So for investors, this means that the current cost base reflects the true and ongoing economic conditions in Bolivia, not a one-off accounting effect. It provides a clearer view of the operational performance moving forward. So these costs that you are seeing right now in our financial statements and our MD&A are here to stay because now reflect the economic reality of the country. And regarding this net income, I think it's important to show that this 90% year-over-year decrease is just entirely due to a one-time gain that we have in 2024, first in Q 2024, from the renegotiation of the acquisition terms with Blanco. So excluding that non-recurring item, this quarter net income reflects solid underlying profitability. So all in all, a strong quarter, both operationally and financially, and we remain very confident in our outlook for the year ahead.
Perfect, thank you. And can you quickly give an overview of the full year 2024 results?
Yes, actually, Olenka, as 2024 was a crucial year for us as a company, while our operations were running smoothly. In the same time, on the corporate side, we achieved an important milestone where we finalize and conclude the restructuring of our Glencore transaction. The consideration payment was restructured in a way that allows us to keep more cash into the company so that we keep advancing our projects properly. And at the same time, it reinforced our balance sheet significantly. So those things combine a good operations together with today's metal prices, of course, and the restructuring of this transaction has definitely put the company in a very strong position financially.
Perfect, thank you. Are there any plans to move forward with a second offering under the Bolivian bond program? And if so, what will the proceeds be used for?
Yes, well, as we have said in the past, I mean, for us, it's very important to take advantage on different treasury initiatives that can give us the opportunity to leverage on our balance sheet. So today, we're going to issue the second tranche of this promissory note in the next coming weeks, and that will allow us to raise another 70 million Bolivianos, which will be used for working capital purposes as we keep increasing our U.S. Treasury abroad.
Got it, thank you. What is the current status of the VAT tax receivable? And was any VAT received from the Bolivian government in Q1 2025?
Okay, thank you. Yes, it is important to highlight that under the new exchange rate methodology that we're using, the value-added tax receivable currently stands approximately to 41 million US. While we didn't recover any of it during the first quarter, we do expect to collect around 18 million in the coming month. This amount has been already audited, validated by the tax authority. It's simply going through the final administrative processes. Unfortunately, that process can sometimes be slow, particularly this year, given the context of national elections, which tend to impact public sector timelines. But that said, we remain confident in the recoverability of the audit portion and continue to actively manage this to ensure the timely collection going forward.
Perfect, thank you. How much is left to pay Glencore for the Bolivian assets, and are the remaining payments expected to be funded from operating cash flow?
That's a good question, Olenka. Yes, I mean, the balance today is around $22.5 million, and we're going to keep walking our early repayment plan with $7.5 million coming in July 6th. And from there on, we'll keep every 2 months. We should finish by October, the last week of October. And the balance, as I was pointing out, is $22.5 million. Today, we have around north of $60 million US dollars in our treasury. So we're comfortable that we'll keep working this program and amortizing this Glencore payment comfortably.
Okay, got it. With silver prices gaining momentum, how quickly does Santacruz see this impacting revenues?
Well, from concentrate production and delivery report, the full process takes about 1 month. So since we don't have much inventory, impact on our revenues is seen very quick.
So I think you just cut out a little bit there. If you could repeat that, please.
Oh, yes. I was saying that from mining to concentrate production, and what we deliver to port, full process takes about 1 month. And since we don't have much inventory, the impact on our revenues is seen very quickly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm now going to pass it on to Magda, who's going to ask some mining questions.
Sure.
Thanks, Olenka. So just to touch on production, why was total production lower in Q1 of this year compared to Q4 of last year and Q1 of 2024?
That's a good question, Magda. And actually, we experience seasonalities, and more so in Bolivia. No, first quarter is always a slow quarter, and the main reason is there are many holidays. It's the carnival season in Bolivia, so Bolivia is an important reason why we experience Q1 always coming a slower quarter. And Q4, at the same time, it's always a strong quarter. it's when we paid the bonuses to our employees as well, and it helps us with less, let's say, holidays in that quarter. It helps us to achieve better production rates, but it's cyclical. It's
Got it. Thanks, Arturo. And then looking at silver and silver equivalent output of the mines, Zimapan, I don't know if I said that properly, is the leader in production. Is this something you're looking to maintain over the long term?
Well, actually, we are looking to keep advancing our properties in the best possible way, right? Zimapan, due to its geology, due to its high volume mining operations, is definitely the largest producer of all. And yeah, I mean, as we're advancing at level 960, where we're moving towards this year, we're increasing our production at this level, and that will bring us an increase in silver head grades, and as such, in addition to that, our volumes, monthly mining volumes, should keep in the range of 75,000 tons up to 80,000 tons. So yes, we should see Zimapan keep sustaining its production rates for the coming years.
Okay. And then while we're on Zimapan, why was the all-in sustaining cost in Q1 of, I believe it was $34.32, higher than the other operations despite higher production volumes?
Yes.
I think it's, Magda, something related to what Arturo was saying. The all-in sustaining cost rose 27% compared to Q4 2024, primarily because a large portion of the operation's annual capital budget was deployed early in the year. We accelerated key investment, especially in Carrizal Mine. As Arturo was mentioning, level 960 is the future of these mines. So if we want to keep this leader in production thing in our operations, yes, those investments are to support the future production growth. The good news is that the major equipment related to those investments is already fully operational. So while we still have some planned investments for the year, especially in our milling facilities, it will be lower. The next quarter will be lower than what we saw in Q1. So as a result, we expect all-in sustaining costs to decline from the coming quarters and production increase.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. And then why does Santacruz present production at Bolivia and Porco on a 100% basis if you take 45% of the profits?
Well, it is. That's an important question, Magda, and that has to do with an accounting approach under IFRS. But we are responsible of the full production at these two mines where we have this joint agreement with Comibol. We're responsible of all the administrative matters. We're responsible of all the employee and literally, absolutely each and every piece of the business of these two mines, right? So we only share with the Bolivian government and net cash flow proceeds after the year ends, and actually they have no role into the operation and to the day-to-day. So it is fair to report the production as a whole, and then on your financial statements, of course, we break down our participation of 45%. So all our financial statements and financial figures are already on a net 45% to us. No?
And I think it's we are glad to clarify this, because although Santacruz, as Arturo was saying, holds 45% of the net operating cash flow interest in the Bolivar and Porco operation, we report 100% of the production because we are the sole operator. We are the one who are doing the exporting, the mining, processing, administration, sales. We are fully responsible for the commercial execution and even risk products. So yeah, it's Comibol receives their economic share through a net cash distribution, but they don't have direct control of offtake, of production, or anything related. So we must do that. We have to do that because we are the ones responsible of every part of the production process.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you, Arturo and Andreas. And just touching on Bolivia, some investors express concerns about jurisdictional risk. Why did you choose Bolivia, and how is your relationship with the government?
Arturo can answer that better than me.
Absolutely. I think if you are a silver producer, you need to be in Bolivia. Bolivia is a place where there's a lot of upside potential, geologically speaking. It's a very friendly jurisdiction in terms of, let's say, employees are business oriented. It's hardworking people. You need to understand the things, how things are work and managed in Bolivia. But having the right team in place definitely allows us to move in a very comfortable way. Culturally speaking, Mexico and Bolivia, I don't want to say share similarities. No, they are literally almost the same. No, so we feel very comfortable in Bolivia, and also you are the second largest mining group in the country. So we are always taking into consideration when any let's say reform or any ideas are in the industry are being in discussion. So I feel very comfortable. I think it was a very smart decision, a very smart move, and very happy and to be there.
Yeah, and Arturo, I think it's a fair question. It is true that Bolivia is facing a complex economic and political environment, like any company operating in emerging markets. However, we closely monitor macroeconomic, regulatory developments to anticipate potential impacts. Our operations have continued to perform well. We need to remember one thing: these operations here in Bolivia have been running for 60 years. We're talking about that, no? So most importantly, mine remains a strategic sector for the country, particularly now as export revenues are more critical than ever. So that gives our business continued relevance and support. So we feel very comfortable. I think even more than before, because now exports are so relevant for the country, they need it. So yeah, we are very pleased to work here.
Awesome. Thank you. And given that you're one of the few silver producers operating in Bolivia, would you look to expand your presence in the country?
That's a good question, Magda. At least this year, I mean, we have an exploration asset, the Soracaya property, which is a brownfield property. So organically, we can do that, but this year it's not the right time for us to do it. But eventually, we might bring that mine into production.
Yeah, absolutely, Arturo. As you mentioned, Bolivia has significant untapped mining potential. When you look at its neighbors, Peru, Chile, you can clearly see what's possible with the right investment and deployment and development strategy. Those countries are exporting around $55,000 million from minerals, and Bolivia is only 4,000, and we share the same mining geological component. So yes, and we already have a highly experienced team on the ground and a technical capability to develop underground operations. So that put us in a strong position to evaluate and pursue new opportunities within the country. So yeah, for us, Bolivia is very strategic, sorry, and we will continue to invest here.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. And I think your results speak to the opportunity. And just one last question from me before I hand it back to Olenka. With silver prices showing such strong momentum, are you planning to make changes or continuing to make changes to mining or milling to maximize recoveries, extraction of silver?
Well, Magda, that's a good question. I mean, and to answer that, in a way, our vision is for long term, right? So our mining approach is for long term. So we're not going for the high grade areas today because metal prices are at good levels. We have always a plan to make it for long term vision where these mines will deliver regardless of today's metal prices. And definitely what we're always looking forward and achieving or looking to achieve literally every week is efficiencies at all areas, right? And metallurgical area or department is something that we are, as we speak, putting a lot of effort, putting a lot of attention. We have achieved a significant success at Caballo Blanco, where we identified that two of the veins which are Reserva, Tres Amigos and Colquechaquita. These two veins combined can run perfectly with each other, and we got rid of or carve out the Reserva mine into the blending of this ore. This alone increased our productivity, our recoveries by around 7%. So those are the kind of metallurgical studies and approaches that we're, let's say, taking on a day-to-day basis, and we'll keep doing that. Same at the mines. So that's a natural approach for us. Keep working on reaching and achieving efficiencies.
Yes, I
But
think
never,
we are leveraging on the experience that our team has. For example, we're talking about that in 2024 we have a lot of investments in Mexico to increase our mining operations there. We're saying that this 2025 we're going to focus on the milling facility there because, for example, in Bolivia our milling facilities are top of the line. We are recovering above 93%, and we are trying to bring that to Mexico, and also the operation efficiencies that they have on a high volume process to Bolivia. So yeah, we're leveraging on our knowledge of the companies.
But something that you can count on, Magda, is we're never going to compromise the future of our mines just to get a short-term reward. No.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, I have some outlook questions. Santa Cruz does not provide production or financial guidance, but can you share your vision for how the rest of 2025 will unfold?
Yes, Olenka, and maybe I'll do it in a very simple way. We'll be close to what we reported last year, from 18 to 19 million ounces silver equivalent. And in terms of all-in sustained cash cost, we should be close to what we report in Q1 at each of our mines, because now we're reporting on a per mine basis, with the exception of Zimapan. Zimapan, you should see all-in sustained cash costs coming down significantly. As Andres points out previous in our conversation, in Q1, Zimapan received a significant amount of underground equipment, and that's what increased its all-in sustained cash cost to north of $30. But that was a one-time expense or investment, and you will continue seeing the all-in sustained of that mine coming down significantly. So if you allow me to give a guidance, those are the two metrics: ounces similar to last year, and all-in sustained cash cost similar to Q1.
Perfect, thank you. And given the strong financial results and solid cash flow generation, what's the long-term vision for how that cash will be used? Would you consider share buybacks, dividends, or acquisitions?
That's a good question. Definitely, everything is right now in the table. Our vision is to make this an accretive investment to our investors. A share buyback program definitely will be in place shortly, hopefully during the course of this year. Sorry, and some other initiatives. We're actually starting to think or reviewing ideas with the board, because as you point out, I mean, we're building a strong treasury, and we'll need to put those monies to work in the future. So we'll keep looking for the best alternative to keep adding value to our shareholders.
Yeah, and I think, like, first things first. No, we're going to pay Glencore. We're going to put our operations very strong. We're going to leverage on our productivity between our mines. So yeah, we're walking the talk, and I think that has been working for us since we took over these operations.
Correct.
Got it, thank you. We're gonna see some questions that were just submitted. So there is one about Soracaya. Sorry if I mispronounced that. When will we see the development for Soracaya? They're very interested in the asset. The inferred resource currently contains about 34.6 million ounces of silver. It is barely explored, but what does Santacruz Silver think is possible there in terms of the resource?
That's a good question. Well, today, under a JORC report done by Glencore in the past, this mine has north of 5 million tons in reserves, in resource. I'm sorry. So we are planning to keep drilling and doing metallurgical studies on this mine throughout the course of this year. We don't have a plan to execute or to bring that this mine into production this year. Nonetheless, the mine is fully permitted today for half of its PEA maximum capacity of 800 tons per day. So today we can mine 400 tons. We're, as I was pointing out, making more metallurgical studies, and we will start working next year to see what's the best way to bring this mine into production. Maybe we'll bring the mine into production and process the ore somewhere else, or maybe we'll build a bespoke milling facility for this mine. What it's really important is that it's a very strong mine, pure silver, generally speaking, and once it reaches full production, it should be giving us around 4 million ounces of pure silver on a yearly basis. That under a PEA today that was done by a very serious engineering firm. So we'll see next year, but this year we'll keep making just slow progress and keeping that mine in good shape.
Got it, thanks. And do you have projections on the lifespans of your current mines and or projected materials still in the mines to be mined?
Well, definitely. As Andres points out, these mines or this company has been running for 60 years so far. The mines have been running, just to give you an idea, Porco for 500 years. Is the oldest running operation in the Americas. And Bolivar for 200 years. The youngest one is Caballo Blanco with a little bit more than 20 years. But we have a policy, an internal policy, where exploration department needs to go ahead of our mining department. Every time the mining department depletes or mines 1 ton from your mines, we want to inventory at least 1.5 tons. So we always keep a good ratio, and the success rate is so far so good that we're comfortable that we'll keep inventorying resources as needed. Important to mention that in the narrow vein system, as most of our mines in Bolivia are, it's very expensive to inventory resources through exploration. So we keep a balance, and that balance gives, give or take, is 4 or 5 years on hand. And just as a reference, I invite our audience here to take a close look into our National Instrument 4101 report, 43101 reports, as they will see that all of our mines are open along strike and at deep for future exploration.
Thank you. Another comment here. Congratulations, Arturo, and welcome, Andreas. Please update the resource statement at the Zimapan mine. So I guess more so asking about the Zimapan operations.
That's a very good question. The resource report for Zimapan is very advanced now. I don't want to give a date on when we are going to be filing this one, but it should be soon. It's a mine a little bit different from our Bolivian mines. Zimapan is a mine where the deposit is high volume, very wide ore bodies. So in this mine, making inventories and it's, let's say, less costly as in the narrow vein mines. So we hope to file a 43101 report in the next coming months. But same thing, no? In this mine, we're always inventorying more than what we're depleting. And so far, level 960, as Andres was pointing out, is the future of this mine. And there's an important reason for that. So we have already identified a significant amount of or potential in this area, and we are developing and having great success so far.
Thank you. Another question. Congratulations, Arturo. Very well done. Your Q1 run rate EBITDA was 110 million, with silver spot at $31.85, production at 3.68 million silver equivalent ounces, and Zimapan all-in sustaining at $34.32. From guidance, spot is up, production is up per guidance, and Zimapan all-in sustaining costs down. So it seems that 110 million EBITDA for 2025 appears quite achievable. Definitely,
we're comfortable that we'll be in that range, Olenka. And yeah, I mean, we'll keep working hard. We'll keep focused on our projects and achieving efficiencies. And if metal prices keep in this route, in this range, we definitely should be there.
Yes, of course. Yeah, as he was pointed out, 27 million per quarter, and the price was around 31, 32, and now we are above that. Yes, we should be getting 110 easily.
It's important to mention, Olenka, or I'll take the opportunity that once we get finished with the Glencore payments, we technically are free of debt. We have no streamings, we have no royalties. So that's going directly to our investors' in pockets, no? So that's very exciting for us to see.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you guys would like to cover today that we haven't talked about?
No, just our commitment to the investment community, Olenka, that we'll keep focused on our business. We'll keep working hard in the most transparent way, and thanking everyone for the vote of trust for those who are investors and those who are planning to be. Thank you very much. We'll keep walking the talk.
Yes, we want to bring value to our investors community, to everyone involved in these companies, all the stakeholders, not only the stockholders. And I think we're walking the talk. So yeah, thank you very much for these questions. I think it gives us transparency. And again, sorry for what happened in 2024 and Q1, but it was important for us to do that. You know, the integrity of our financial statements are the most important thing for us, especially now that we are planning to graduate to the main board from the TSX.
Correct. And as Andres points out, I mean, Q2 will be on time. So from here on, hopefully that's behind. And we apologize for the inconvenience.
Mm-hmm.
And if we didn't get to answer your question today, you can just email to me at olenka@adcab.ca. Thank you everyone for joining, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much.